Welcome to another edition of the Bones of Advertising. I'm Craig McLeod, and this guy here is John Douglas. JD, have you got a story for us today?
I've got more than a story.
More than a story. Is it a bone?
I've got a bone. I've got a bone. It's a bit of a countdown bone, not a Molly Meldrum countdown bone, but a countdown bone nonetheless.
How good was Molly and Countdown, by the way? Let's just touch on that.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yep.
Loved it. Every Sunday night.
Every Sunday out. Do yourself a favour.
Do yourself. I love it. Ours is don't go changing. Molly's was do yourself a favour.
The man in the hat. Just brilliant.
Legendary.
We are going to the bone we're going to pick today is the greatest ad of all time.
Holy shit. The greatest ad of all time. Now, I'm just going to cast the line out and I'm going to say there's going to have to be something in there from my favourite jobs. Apple's going to have to be in there. Is it in there?
Apple is yes, Apple's in there. There's a couple of others that are kind of like likely starters.
Right.
But I think I've got a surprise for you at number one. I hope I've got a surprise for you at number one. But anyway,
let's kick off with, I don't know what number it is, but let's call it number 7, perhaps. What are we going to call the number 7?
We're going to call number 7 the Hamlet cigar ad. So Hamlet cigars. Yeah. So just brilliant. Just brilliant. So this was, okay, we'll play it.
Let's play it.
You're right.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet, the mild cigar.
Just hilarious. I
love him.
Yeah.
What about his hair, though? That's the best comb over I've ever seen. Whoever art directed that is a genius.
Just brilliant. And they had, this is part of a campaign that ran for years and years and years. And
So
it's
good.
It's an audio cue. So it's the brand mnemonic was that audio, whatever it is, air on a G string or something.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be like, the big guys having, on a soccer field, just lining up for a penalty. You got the wall.
Yeah.
And one guy is covering his
His nether region.
and he turns around and faces the goal. And the guy kicking the goal kicks it, it bounces off the crossbar and into his goalies. And then you hear that, and he's there smoking a cigar with an ice pack on his groin.
Wow, so good. I loved it.
Just
bloody
delightful.
brilliant.
Beautiful campaign. So really, really delightful. Now,
But that scenario, before we jump off that one, just quickly, I don't know why, but that scenario in the photo booth is just funny today. Like if someone did that today, it would be just as bloody good. That whole scenario of being in there with the curtain behind you and waiting for the bloody shutter to go and you're there going,
yeah.
And then as soon as you move, you're like, and it takes you. I love it.
Just beautiful recognition of a simple human truth. We've all been there.
Right.
We have all been in that photo booth.
Yes, mate. I love it. I love it. Definitely going to have one of those at my daughter's birthdays. I think for them to have that memory in a strip, so good. Love them.
It is. It's brilliant. And you stick it on your wall and you keep it there forever. And it's lovely.
Okay, my boy, let's talk about number...
Let's go to number 6.
Number 6. Who we got number 6?
One of my favourite B-grade actors of all time, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
B-grade? No way. That guy is chiseled. He is absolutely beautiful.
Chiseled. But he's also, and I can only say this because he'll never watch this, he comes across as a bit of a dick sometimes. He really does.
Yeah, look,
but
I've got to tell you that
this is
was spent watching a whole bunch of Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I do concur.
Yeah. No, it's just, I mean, he's like in terms of action flicks, he's right up there with Sylvester and Arnold. But
David Carradine.
Oh,
love it.
I won't hear a bad word said about Kung Fu. I won't. It was DJ Schlock. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I love it.
But this Volvo ad, let's play it.
Let's.
Yeah. Going backwards. The trucks are driving backwards.
I know, backwards.
Trucks are driving backwards. Now,
and you're looking at it, and if you watch the ad and you see it first off, like you just see it, but they're actually in reverse. And until the camera pans to the side, you don't know it's going backwards.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Like, it is just a great, this is.
And is it real, JD? Did he actually stand there I don't know, supported or whatever?
Yeah, some say, but no, apparently he did. They may have driven them forward and then reversed the film.
Right.
But I don't think that, it doesn't look like it's been reversed. It actually looks as though there is something quite spectacular happening there.
How about how he describes himself up front? Like that is just outstanding.
Yeah. It's like the Geelong theme song. Like, we are Geelong, the greatest
team.
La,
la, la, la.
Yeah.
Snorkel, snorkel.
I am Van Damme, the greatest one.
Of all, the ultimate male, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Just delightful. Like, this is
spectacular.
This is, if you're looking for a way to prove superiority, do a product demonstration. If your product stacks up, this product stacks up.
But everything, even the choice of color, where it was set, how it was all set up, like those trucks, that kind of, I don't know, it's like a goldy color.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Just fantastic.
Yeah.
Just
beautiful. 4 guys, 2 in each truck, one obviously watching and the other one driving. Outstanding is the only words I could come up for that one.
It's like, it captures your attention. And keeps your attention. It's fantastic. It's a little bit like, we're just going to go straight to number 5, which is very similar. It's very similar. This is the Honda. I love it when everything just works.
Mouse trap me up. Let's watch it.
Isn't it nice when things just work?
Mousetrap, I love it. Someone tried to do that recently. I saw it was another car company that did a Mousetrap version, but Honda's beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was, I mean, it took them forever. It took them absolutely forever. Like
the windscreen and
oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And it's
outstanding.
It's 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, and it keeps you fascinated. It's like
the entire way.
All the way.
Unbelievable. Like just even the sounds are spectacular.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more than a product demonstration, but it is essentially at its heart a product demonstration. It's just like fantastic.
And just how everything comes together to it's so good.
You just can't not watch it.
No, you can't.
And you know, right at the end, like, oh, it's a Honda. Oh.
Yep. And you know what? They could play that today and it would still resonate. I know I've said that before, but they could definitely play that today. And without a doubt, people would be able to go, outstanding. Does that give me something in my mind to remember when I'm considering what kind of car? And it would work again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to take you back now for number 4. This is we're not back like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Not like Jean-Claude.
We're going back to the 1980s, and to I believe I can't remember the name of the model that they used in this. Nick Kimmen? No, whatever. But this is when Levi's were the coolest jeans on the planet.
Yep, 501.
Levi's 501s.
Uh-huh.
And you had to get into the bath. Remember that? They used to have, they had an ad. They actually had an ad of this model putting on a pair of jeans and then getting into the bath with a beer. And everyone was like, oh, yeah. But remember that? You used to have to get into the bath with your jeans. So they would shrink to fit around you.
Exactly.
And then Levi's came out with, oh, no, they're already, they're shrink to fit. But then came that faded look, we want the faded, we want that thing. So stone washed was
got to be washed out a bit, just like these puppies.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Stone washed jeans.
Love it.
So they just got, and so the biggest way of selling cool back in the 1980s was referencing 1950s, 1960s Americana.
Yeah, right.
So this is an ad out of London.
A sort of diner culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this laundrette, it's called.
Wow. What about the look on the lady's, the Stepford wife's face? She's like, I shouldn't be loving this, but I am.
Yeah. And the largest gentleman sitting next to him at the end, just going.
And he just tips out his bag of rocks. And the kid, from around the street, who's probably sold the papers in the morning, he's just popped up over the top. What's going on here?
What is happening?
What's all this about?
Is there a man in his underpants in our laundry?
So he's got the risky business going on with just the jocks and socks. Love it.
Just fantastic. Like it's really just, and it was just, in the 1980s, this was I think it only ran in the UK, but it was just like, that is everyone who could get a hand on it. Yeah. Just, loved it. Now we'll go across the pond. To number 3. This is McDonald's. This is one of the great, like once you've seen this ad, once you've seen this ad, whenever you shoot basketball again, you will I guarantee you will reference this. But let's play it.
What's in the bag?
Lunch. Big Mac, fries.
Play you for it.
You and me for my Big Mac?
First one to miss watches the winner eat. No dunking.
Get in there.
Get in. Nothing but net.
I think we're going to be here a while. I suggest you go get a Big Mac.
This is for your Big Mac, right? First one that misses,
Watches the winner eat lunch. Got it.
off the glass. Get in.
Nice shot.
One knee.
Rich knee. Get in there.
Off the floor, off the scoreboard, off the bank board, no rim.
Over the second rafter, off the floor, nothing but net. Through the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
What you want is what you get, and McDonald's today.
Off the expressway, over the river, off the billboard, through the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
Two of the all-time greats who just don't miss.
No. And think of it, this is back when they were huge. Both of them. Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, still, number one with a bullet. But I just love that. Off the roof, onto the expressway, through the window, off the girder, nothing but net.
Straight in. And Bird at the start. What's in the bag?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Just
Big Mac and fries.
Yeah.
I
And you
played for it.
knew, like right from the start, you know exactly what the ad's for.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And it's just, here's two athletes eating a McDonald's burger. It's like, well, if they're allowed to eat it, Mum, I'm allowed to eat it.
Must be good for me. Breakfast of champions.
Yeah, Pesta Power, whatever it is.
Pesta Power, that's what it's called.
Pesta Power. So
Yeah. Brilliance.
This is
Absolute brilliance.
number two. Now, number two, to be fair, is regularly regarded in all polls that they do about the greatest ad of all time. This is regularly regarded as the greatest ad of all time. But I digress. I think they're wrong.
Okay, so I'm sniffing a little bit of 1984.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Yes,
have a
right.
look at 1984. That's not like 1984.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Wow. So different.
It ran once. It
Once?
ran once. Officially. Ran once. In the Super Bowl. This was the ad that launched. Let's turn the Super Bowl ad into a blockbuster, and we'll use it to launch products, and we'll use it, they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on ads.
Yep.
And this is ostensibly the ad that started it all.
Yeah. Was this Day Lee Clow? Was that him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was just like, it's just a brilliant piece, because 1984, of course, George Orwell's magnificent book.
Yep.
And it was like 1984, everyone was kind of, in 1983, everyone was referencing 1984, Big Brother, the world's going to change. We're all going to be subservient to our robot overlords, or the faceless men in the background. And so this whole sense of this is the machine, this is the computer that will liberate you. But there's already, you can see the start of the themes that Apple will continually roll out, this sense of individualism, this sense of color in amongst the gray, all of that is, you can see it all encompassed in that ad. It's brilliant. It's
that
brilliant.
whole art that they came up with of, we've got something that is revolutionary and you want it before you've even seen it.
Yep.
You have no idea what it does, but you want it.
Yep.
You want what we've got because we've packaged it, we've built it, we've designed it. It is going to revolutionize.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like, in terms of the impact it had on culture, the impact it had on design, the impact it had, like this is an ad that you could say changed advertising, certainly changed
I think you're right.
The way people launch products and the way people approach big event advertising.
Yeah. And look, the only thing that I will say post that I absolutely loved was the genius behind I'm a Mac, I'm a PC.
Oh.
Now that to me is of epic proportion as well. And that still resonates today. And then you look at what Intel did, as we've talked about previously, taking the piss out of that and showing, a whole different spin on it. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about number one. And you are making sure that you have something that you think is better than 1984 by Apple Computer with Macintosh.
Yep.
What do you got?
Yep. I have got something.
Let's put it up now, and I want you. Have you got it in front of you, or do you want me to read it for those punters that aren't?
No, you can read it because you have more of an Ernest Shackleton voice than I do.
Ernest Shackleton.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes, because he was Irish. You could do a little Sean Connery with a little Irish kind of bent.
I do, my friend. Mish Money Penny. Yes, I like my martini.
Men wanted for hazardous journey.
Men wanted for hazardous journey. No, men wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in event of success. Ernest Shackleton, 4 Burlington Street.
This ad cost less than a pound, less than a shilling, probably a shilling. Back in 1911. Back in 1911. 1911. And this ad got 111 or 147, like it got, like, for an ad, a title ad that appeared in the classified section of the London Times. This got an amazing amount of responses. It's incredible. Yeah. And essentially it just said, buy this product, we'll take you away, we'll treat you like shit, and you might die. but
sign me up. Get me on that fucking ship. I'm coming.
Honor and recognition. So this says to me that people are prepared to pay with their lives for simple human emotions. What do I want? I want respect. I want to get away from the grey of London in 1911. Like 1911, the English economy was not suffering. Like, it was on a steady kind of uphill kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But it was, is that uphill? I can never, whatever, uphill.
So tell the punters at home, Jaddy, what was it actually for? Why was Ernest Shackleton recruiting men?
Ernest Shackleton was one of the great polar explorers of the early night, the golden age of exploration. Yep. So it was when people were just out, desperately trying to reach the 4 corners of the earth.
The world fell over. You fell off the edge.
Yeah, that era of Livingston and Stanley and Roald Amundsen and, Scott of the Antarctic and all of those.
Was Scott a Scot?
Scott was an Englishman, I believe.
Wasn't a Scot.
I don't believe Scott was a Scot, no.
Well, he should have been a fucking Scot with a name like Scott. Anyway, my boy, bloody brilliant.
So he and this was the journey that just went completely to absolute, This was the disaster journey where Shackleton himself died at the age of 47 at South Georgia Island. And
Right.
I think that was, I'm pretty sure that was the, I may be wrong, but this was the ad that got like this. Apple computers don't say, buy our computer and die. Like there's only one other product I can think of where if you'd used the product correctly, you die.
Yep.
And we're not allowed to advertise it on television anymore.
No, we are not anymore. We're not allowed to advertise it.
This, to my mind, I know I'm a writer, so I'm biased, but I reckon this is, without doubt, hands down, the greatest ad of all time, because it just says, you may not come back alive, but if you do, you'll be remembered forever. So,
well, there you have it, punters. That is my good friend's best ad of all time. You be the judge of that.
Yes,
JD,
please.
that's another edition of the Bones of Advertising. Don't you go changing.
I won't.
And like Molly used to say,
do yourself a favor.
Do yourself a favor and watch this episode. We'll see you next week.
All right, mate. Cheers. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.